Husky fans, welcome to another edition of the Husky Highlights Show. I'm here with Tukni Nguyen and Kevin Dowd. We're bringing it to you from inside the Husky Stadium press box this time. Got a little rainy out there on the field in this one between the Wildcats and the Huskies, but the Huskies came away with the victory nonetheless, 31-13 over the Wildcats, and improved to 4-0 for the first time in over a decade. But you're not here to listen to us talk. Let's get right to the highlights. Picking this one up in the second half, Dogs up 11-6, and it's Keith Price hitting ASJ for the 1-yard touchdown pass, making the score 18-6 UW. 5 minutes later, it's Wildcat quarterback B.J. Denker keeping it himself and bowling over Will Shaneberger into the end zone to cap the 72-yard drive with a touchdown. Arizona pulls it within 5 points, trailing the Huskies 18-13. But that's as close as the Wildcats would get, as Price airs it out here for Kevin Smith off the play-action fake for a 49-yard gain, which would later set the table for Bishop Sankey's dive into the end zone. UW on top, 25-13. Fourth quarter now, Huskies looking for a stop against Arizona as Denker rolls out of the pocket and hits Marcus Peters for the interception. Not the target he was looking for, and that would all but seal the deal for the UW victory. But the offense didn't stop there as Jesse Callier scores 6 more for the Huskies on this 2-yard run, which brings us to our final score, Huskies 31, Arizona 13. UW picks up their first conference win and remains undefeated as they prepare to head to Stanford next week. Alright guys, so there we have it. Huskies come away victorious in this one over the Wildcats 31-13 with their no-huddle offense on display as we've seen through these first 4 games of the season. And Coach Sarkisian on Monday even said that the loss against Arizona last year was one of the big reasons that the Huskies chose to go with the no-huddle offense. So Kevin, do you see the offense having the same effect on the rest of the Pac-12 as it did tonight?
Right. Well, I mean, I think tonight and so far in this entire season, the biggest place we've seen the impact of that no-huddle offense is on defense. I mean, where the Huskies are used to practicing against that type of offense and practicing at that pace and are conditioned enough to be able to play at that pace. And that will, I think, continue to pay dividends against Oregon, against Arizona State, against Washington State, against these other offenses that play fast and play that style of offense. One place where the no-huddle and up-tempo offense, I think, might not benefit the Huskies going forward is against the USCs and the Stanfords, particularly next week of the Pac-12. These teams that play kind of the slow it down, I guess an old-school pace, you could call it. And so kind of the question for me the rest of this season is, we've seen the defense playing against these up-tempo offenses like it was designed to do, and it's had a lot of success. Can they carry that over against teams that play at a different kind of pace and a different style? Kind of the same question as last year, but flipped on its head. So I'm excited to see how that plays out next weekend against Stanford.
And the star of Washington's up-tempo offense, definitely this far in the season, has been running back Bishop Sankey. Finished with a school record 40 carries for 161 yards and a touchdown today. Now, obviously, Tukni, that's a lot of carries for one running back. Do you see that as being a problem for the Huskies in the future?
I think definitely. If they can't get Jesse Callier or Dwayne Washington or even Deontay Cooper going, it's going to be a problem. Bishop Sankey won't complain about all the carries he's getting. He will always say that he can do as much as the team wants him to, but the team shouldn't want him to do that much. And Sark knows that. He told us at the press conference that it's really important they get Callier and Washington going and Cooper. And that should be a really big emphasis for them going forward.
Another bright spot for the Huskies in this win was special teams, which Coach Sarkisian touched on in his post-game press conference.
Travis was awesome. I mean, it was just an amazing effort by him, punting the football. And, you know, snapping the ball and that stuff's not easy. Obviously, we had the one bad snap on the extra point. And the other ones, you know, Ryan Mazzell, that's hard. You know, those balls get wet and they get heavy. And Travis, not only was he punting great, those were some tough catches. And then to catch it and then to punt the ball the way he was doing it, I thought was a really good effort by him. So I'm proud of the kicking game. You know,
so as we just heard Sarkisian say, special teams was huge today. Kevin, what'd you see from them?
Well, I mean, 2 players in particular really stood out on special teams for me: Travis Coons and Casey Williams. Coons, coming into the season, he was not the Huskies' sure-thing punter. Like, there was a competition with that spot, and he's really come out and shined this season, particularly today. 5 punts down inside the 20, 3 inside the 10, if I'm not mistaken, which did a whole lot for field position in this one. Arizona, once they got behind, needed to throw the ball, which, as we saw, they weren't having a whole lot of success with. And then Casey Williams, I mean, his big play was on that kickoff return after the safety in the second quarter, which set the Huskies up for the field goal to put them up 11-0. I think that was a big jump going from 8 to 11, making it a 2-score game for them. And I mean, the crowd was still into it at that point before everyone left because of the rain. So That was really a big play in the first half. And Casey Williams stepped up in some rare time he's seen in the return game. It's been a lot of John Ross this year, but he looked really good in it.
So as stated before, the Huskies 4-0 for the first time since 2001, got their first Pac-12 game under their belt, but now they got the big boys of the conference, Oregon and Stanford, coming up the next 2 weeks. So Kevin, what do you think we can expect against these two powerhouse teams?
Well, it'll be interesting, I think, no matter what happens, that's for sure. I mean, the Huskies last year, they beat Stanford. We know they can beat Stanford. That was before Kevin Hogan took the reins, a little bit of a different offense, and it was in Seattle. So I think the big questions for that are going to be how the Huskies handle playing on the road, which has been a rather large bugaboo the last couple of years, and again, how they handle Stanford's offense and kind of the pace and the physicality with which they're going to play, because they haven't really seen that yet this year. And against Oregon, I think the real question in that one is whether Washington can hang around with Oregon for a full 60 minutes, which they haven't done in the past 9 years or so. I think those will both be interesting games. I think the Huskies win one of them. They can probably come out of that feeling pretty good about themselves. So I think that's something for the Huskies to shoot for the next 2 weeks.
All right, that's all we got for you tonight for the Husky Highlight Show. Once again, I'm Tyler Hartung here at Tukney to Win. Kevin Dowd. We'll see you next time, Husky fans.